Welcome to the Temple of Nerds podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Star Wars, Nintendo, Marvel, and anything else video games, nerdy TV, or just straight up awesome. I'm D-Bills.
And I am TJ. Today, we're going to be giving financial advice, as well as we're going to talk about some questionable mods, video game collectibles, and a little town in New Jersey called Westview.
Yes.
Ooh, what's that?
Strap in, pop those headphones into your ear holes, and get ready for two nerds talking your ears off.
Hell yeah, you're killing it.
I can almost do it without looking at the script.
I know. Have you been practicing?
I haven't been.
Oh, well.
I don't know. Maybe,
It sounds like
we're on episode 8 now. I think we've got it.
We should have it. We should have it. That's the key word. Should. Should,
yes. I had a camp director who used to say you're shoulding all over yourself.
I mean,
he didn't want us to be like, yeah, I should be able to do that. He's like, no, you can do it. You don't should on yourself.
Don't should on yourself. Honestly, that's brilliant. I'm gonna use that. I'm going to use that at work.
There you go.
I could have done that. Yeah, well, you know what? You're shooting all over yourself. Well, hot damn.
So what have you been playing recently?
Okay, so not much. I've been a very busy person lately. I've been working a lot, and my time off has been spent mostly watching YouTube.
Sure.
But in my downtime, I've been playing Mother 3.
Ooh.
Now, I have it on... Hold on, it's right here. I have it physically.
Yes.
Right here. I could play it in my what Jesus Christ. The Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance. I have a Game Boy Advance SP.
Yes.
But that screen is like super scratched.
And it's so small.
It's so small, and I am
right here.
Yeah, I'm spoiled by the Switch.
Right, and honestly, nowadays you're almost better off downloading a like Game Boy Advance emulator on your phone.
Yeah, well,
instead of playing it on like the original hardware.
That's what I did. I didn't download it on my phone, but I downloaded it onto my computer. And I immediately searched Mother 3. That's the first thing that I downloaded for Game Boy Advance on my computer. And I've been playing it lately, and holy shit, man. Like, Earthbound was great. Mother 3 is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, I'm a musician. You know that.
Yes.
There is a music element to every single battle that you ever do.
Sure.
So when you do regular attack with certain characters, at least at this point, I don't know if every character can do it, but certain characters, if you continue to tap the A button with the beat of the particular song that's playing, it continues your attack. But it's only like one damage, 2 damage, 1 damage.
Sure.
And it's random every single time. But being that music guy and loving rhythm games like I do, it's great for an RPG.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it other than just that. Like, I'm having a lot of fun. Like,
there you go.
It's been fantastic, and I can't wait to figure out more of this story.
Oh yeah. Because those games are some of the like original and like best like JRPG games.
Well, this one hasn't even been released in America yet.
Right.
Like I have a cartridge, but it's a fan-made cartridge.
Right.
Like just release it, Nintendo. It's time.
That's what we want. But that's Nintendo's. That's been Nintendo's, crutch since the Wii.
I mean, they literally did an animation, a stop motion animation made by the people from Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
And someone in the audience, they showcased it all at E3, but somebody in the audience of this animation goes, "Hey Reggie, where's Mother 3?" And then he bursts into flames. and it's just like, guys, come on, just seriously, it's not a joke. Give it to us, please. Please.
Yep. I've been playing a little bit of Graveyard Keeper here and there because that game is just it's so much fun. It's very grindy, but it's just the stuff that I'm doing in it is ridiculous.
May I take a second?
Sure.
Graveyard Keeper was actually just showcased in I don't know if you watch him personally, but I do, and I have been for years. The Completionist on YouTube.
Okay. Yep.
He recently did what was it him? Oh no, wait. I don't think it was him. I think it was Peanut Butter Gamer. Oh man, I'm mixing up my videos. I've spent too much time watching YouTube.
Spent too much time.
Regardless, I know it was Peanut Butter Gamer. Peanut Butter Gamer did a video all about another great YouTuber, by the way. He did a video all about his favorite life sim games.
Yeah.
And Graveyard Keeper was in there.
Yeah, because it's a great game.
And I was like, oh man, my friend talked about that. That's what my friend talked about. And
it's a great game.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I saw footage and I was like, oh my god, yeah, no, this looks great. I might have to buy it.
Another thing that I've been playing a lot recently is Call of Duty Zombies. Yeah, because a couple of the kids, I work at a residential program, and a couple of the kids there have convinced their team that they should be allowed to have Call of Duty games specifically for zombies. So as a staff, I get to play Call of Duty Zombies with the kids while I'm working.
So jealous. That's like, I have a great job. I work with dogs, but that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Now, which Call of Duty have you been playing?
Mostly Black Ops 1, because that's one of the kids has Black Ops 1.
Okay.
Mostly Black Ops 1.
That's great.
Another one of the kids has Black Ops 4.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Also has co-op. So there's like a Titanic level in that one, and a Gladiator level, and a Prison level. And those are the three that I've played in that one.
My absolute top of the line recommendation would be, if you want zombies and you want good zombies, you play Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Black Ops 2 has the best zombies.
Oh yeah.
The best. Absolute, like hands down. Like I haven't even played 3 or 4. But hands down, Black Ops 2 has the best zombies. I know it. I know it.
I mean, 4 is a lot of fun, so I don't know, maybe, but I'll have to try 2 at some point. So, and
2 is the best.
The other thing that I've been playing is something you turned me on to.
Ah, yes, I know what you're talking about.
For the King.
Yes.
That game is so good. It's so much fun. It's so simple, but it's so not simple.
Now, how far have you gotten?
Not very far. I'm like maybe, I don't know, my characters I think all just got to level 10. So I don't know if I'm far
shit.
or not. So,
no, you're way further than I am. I got my characters up to like level 3 tops.
Okay. I've gone through a couple of the missions, and I think what happened was I pushed the story too hard, because now I have to grind for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, well,
and I've almost team wiped a couple of times.
That's exactly what I'm gonna have to do then, because I've been I've been speeding through the story as much as I could. That's not what it's meant for. No. But
that's also, like, if you read this was a great little like disclaimer that the game puts up. If you read the warning at the beginning of the game, it says, don't expect your first playthrough to go well.
No. And I don't, which is kind of why I was just kind of going through the main story. I was trying to go through it as fast as I could just because I wanted to see what the fuck was going on. But
you can't.
But you can't. You can't.
You can't. You can't. It's not designed. But this game, it also has a really cool. I don't know if you've gotten far enough to play around with the lore system at all. So
not really.
As you complete certain main quests and like side bosses and things, you find lore books, and that's literally just what they're called.
Yeah. I think I do have at least one.
Yeah. So you use those in the lore store in the main menu of the game to buy random encounters that can happen during the game, to buy legendary weapons that get put into the game, to buy there's like 15 different classes, but you have to unlock them all through the lore system.
I'm gonna be playing this a shit ton more. Holy shit.
And based on whether you're playing easy, medium, or hard, you get more lore. So if you're playing on easy or apprentice or something, you get 50% of the lore. If you play on normal, you get 100% lore. If you play on and it's made to be played. And the fact that the maps are procedurally generated or randomly generated,
which I found out because I watched you play. I had my playthrough, and then I saw your playthrough, and you were getting the same story, but you weren't getting the same map.
Yeah.
And
so it gives it almost unlimited, for a time at least, replayability, because you're meant to play through the story over and over again. The one thing I wish the game had so far is that I want the ability to make like 15 characters.
Yeah.
And then when I like my guild, and then when I start a new playthrough, I pick 3 characters out of my guild.
That's a good idea.
Okay, like when I start over, they all start at level 1, but like, you know, I think right now in my game it's me as D-Bills, you as Sir TJ,
the minstrel, the minstrel,
and our good friend Mingo is the blacksmith in my playthrough, right?
Really? But I didn't know that it was Mingo. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think the first time I had it as Fee, but then the second time I named it Mingo. Just
nice.
You know.
Oh, keep going.
But I want to be able to create, a Fee Fee McCree that's a wizard, and every time she's a wizard that looks exactly the same, so I don't have to go recreate that. Or, you know, Professor Purrington, who every time is a knight, and I don't have to go recreate, you know, Professor Purrington. These are all streaming friends of ours.
Yeah.
You know, or I don't want to have to go create, you know, M, who is my wife, as, you know, a wizard, and I don't want to have to create her every time. I just want to be able to grab her from the shelf over here and stick her into the game, you know?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I don't have I don't have that many friends, so.
Yeah. But I mean, you could do it with, but still, there's how many characters in games? Like you could throw a Sora in there, an Isaac. You could put Link. You could have, you know, and like, you'll give them character, and then you'll play them that like the way that they want to be, and it gives like there's a lot of role play ability in it, which I really like.
See, so for anybody who doesn't know, I downloaded this game on Amazon Prime. Their like game launcher, and it was one of their free games, and
through Twitch.
Yep, through Twitch, and I played it. I went through like all of my free games because I was bored one night and I was just playing random things, and I got stuck on this one. Like I was playing it for a while. I played it for probably like 2 hours, and the whole time I was playing, I was like, oh my God, this is a D-Bills game. This is a D-Bills game. D-Bills would love this. D-Bills would love this. And right after I finished playing, he ended up, I went on Twitch and he was streaming. And so I was like, dude, you need to play this game right now. And he did. He literally did. I told him what it was about. I told him what it was about, and he downloaded it, and he was like, "Fuck yes, thank you, DJ. This is fantastic.
Let's go.
Let's go."
Yeah, no, it's a really cool game, and turns out I also have it on Prime Gaming. I just found it on Prime Gaming.
Fuck yeah!
As well.
See,
I do have it there.
Did you end up getting it on Switch instead?
I did end up getting the
Okay,
Switch.
yeah.
So I returned it on Steam and got it on Switch, which is great because I play it before I go to bed now. For a little bit, you know? So like, yeah.
I'm kind of jealous because I don't want to spend the money because I already have it.
Because you already have it, right?
But I kind of want to spend the money.
If you do, we can play together.
Oh shit. Okay, at least wait.
All right.
At least wait till next paycheck.
Yeah, there you go. Or you could play the stock market.
Oh, the stock market. like game stonks?
Like game stonks. How'd you like that segue?
Oh wow, what a segue! Whoa!
Does it count as a good segue if I immediately call it out as a good segue?
Yes, it does. It does. It does. It counts.
So this is kind of similar to when we talked about the Pokemon League card game.
A little. It's a little similar.
It's a little similar in the sense that I feel like we wouldn't be doing our nerdy podcast justice if we didn't at least touch on this. This being said, I do not recommend doing this if you don't know what you're getting into.
We are not financial advisors. Can you hold on, camera? We're not financial advisors. Don't listen to us. We don't know what we're talking about. We're just reporting the news. Okay?
Good chat.
Good chat.
So for those of you who potentially don't know what is going on currently, or listening to this wonderful little podcast years down the road, when this wonderful happenstance doesn't get talked about anymore, but a bunch of quote unquote average Joes on Reddit.
I was gonna say Redditors.
Yeah, Redditors all banded together and said we should screw over the big hedge fund guys and bought GameStop stock to the point where GameStop stock is now worth, I think, around 3,000% more than it was like 2 weeks ago.
3,000 is a very generous. I think it's about 300.
Is it 300 or 3,000? I don't remember. But either way,
I think it's up like 300%, which is still a significant amount.
Right. So I'm not going to go into too much of how this all happened, but essentially there's something called shorting stocks, which you can go look up and figure out how it works, but it's a little too confusing and a little too boring for me to talk about here. But that's how a lot of big hedge fund guys make their money. And if a stock goes up in price by too much too quickly, they lose a ton of money. And so the good people of Reddit decided that they were going to go after this GameStop stock, which is known to be used by the hedge fund guys for shorting stocks. And
because they're a dying company.
Because they're a dying company. So there's been a lot of people who have made a significant amount of money over this, like normal average people, but also like big companies have lost a ton of money because of this.
So GameStop stocks right now are at $325 US dollars, which I believe a handful of months ago, and I say a handful generously, I think like a month ago, they were at like $4.
Yes.
So we're at $325 versus $4. And again, I don't know if this is 100% accurate. This is just what I'm reporting based on what I'm reading. But they're at $325 right now, which is up 67% from last time it was reported. And that's insane. Now,
that's insane.
Like, I don't like to get political here. This is a politics-free zone, but what they're doing is they're taking down America's billionaires.
Yeah.
Like this is, even though the majority of the people are going to be like, no, this is bad. No, this is good.
Right.
This is good.
Right.
This is
it's showing that the current system doesn't work.
Yes.
Is really what
exactly. And it's not just GameStop, it's also AMC, which is also very close to us as moviegoers. I know a certain person who very well may be watching. James, I don't know if you're in here, but I know that he's happy that that AMC is getting this boost, because it's not just GameStop, it's AMC. They're doing the exact same thing with AMC, and it's raising their stocks so much that they might stay in business during this whole pandemic. And that's, I mean, that's crazy, and also like pretty awesome. Like, like my local movie theater is an AMC, and I haven't seen people in that parking lot for close to a year now, and that
so sad.
Sucks. Like every once in a while, there's like, 8 or 9 cars there, but it's nothing like, like the release of Star Wars, where the entire parking lot was full, and the lobby was full, and like it's like I'm glad that this is happening. There's going to be a lot of people that might disagree, and if you do disagree, you're probably rich. But
I mean, the other problem is that when all of this settles down, there might also be a lot of average people who lose a ton of money
if they're not paying attention.
Especially people who aren't paying attention. I feel for the people who aren't going to be paying attention and that are going to get hit by this.
The thing is that a lot of people probably bought GameStop and AMC stock simply because it was trending.
Sure.
Like it's been trending for weeks now. A week now.
Get in trouble because they're just like, oh, I hear people talking about this, I'm going to buy it, and then they're going to sit on it. And
they're buying at peak, and they're gonna end up being, but they're continuing to say hold, don't sell, continue to hold, and that's like if the people that orchestrated this are telling you to hold, I think, I mean, I don't know these people, but
then you get in. But then there's a whole bunch of legal stuff that you get.
Well,
into
yes,
on that.
of course.
We're gonna move on.
We're not gonna get into that, but
we're gonna get into the fun stuff here pretty soon. Don't worry.
The fact that these people are holding, and they're trying to raise it even more, and it's working. It's been going on for days now. Just shows that how much power the people have.
Yes.
Versus just the rich people that live in our country. People that want to invest in GameStop can invest in GameStop. They can do what they want, and they might make money on it. I wish I had done this months ago, but here I am.
Here we are.
Just talking about it.
Just talking about it.
Well, that was fun.
So kind of along the lines of like really expensive stuff, you and I, we made a discovery the last time.
We sure did.
After our last episode here, I casually pulled a game off my shelf, a specific GameCube game called Gotcha Force,
and I lost my mind.
And TJ lost his mind. Turns out that game is worth $400.
Yep.
So I mean, like that's crazy that something, that I bought for $12 used like 15, 20 years ago is now worth $400.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind that you even still have it.
I mean, going off of that, like behind TJ's head here, we have a Master Sword. Like, I don't want to ask you exactly how much that is if you don't want to tell us. But,
well, this was actually probably only about $20. It's foam. Yeah. It's foam.
Okay, so it's a foam Master, but like looking at it on camera here, you can't really tell it's foam. And like
this this one cost a little more, but this one's actually a blade.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I have 2 Master Swords.
There you go. And like behind me on my shelf here, I have a green original Xbox.
Oh, I see it.
It's a Halo edition Xbox.
I see it.
Nintendo is coming out with their limited edition Mario Switch soon. They're also coming out with a limited edition Monster Hunter Rise console and Pro controller, which I've got to say, I might get the Pro controller because it looks pretty cool.
It does. It looks really cool.
I don't need a new Switch right now, especially with the Pro, glinting over the hill somewhere on the horizon. But
hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. But I might get that controller. And then BioWare also just announced, along with their Mass Effect Legendary Edition, a really good-looking Garrus statue.
Okay, I thought you were gonna tell me that it was that they were making a Mass Effect like PlayStation 5 or something.
Oh God! Oh, that's. I hope so. I haven't heard anything yet. I haven't heard
either.
When I hear about that, though, we're not going to be able to wait until the stream to talk about it.
We're just going to get right out. TJ, I don't care. You're working. Let's go.
This is not a drill. But I wanted to ask you, like, what's the most amount of money that you would spend on a like collector item from a video game, and what would that item be? Like, what would you spend a absurd amount, and do you have like an upper limit, or do you not know what that is?
That's I don't know what that is. I don't know what that limit is.
Right. But so then in that case, what is the one item that if was announced today that it was going on pre-order, you would have to leave the recording to go buy?
Okay, well, not on. I feel like this is a given, especially given the sword behind me. But and not only do I think it's a given that I would buy it, but I think it's a given that we're gonna get it.
Yes.
Because last year was Mario's 35th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
This year is Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Right. Yeah.
I will buy I laugh because I'm like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Like, you don't need that. Yes, I will buy a collector's edition Nintendo Switch Zelda. And anything. I don't care if the Switch is just green and gold. If it is specifically a Zelda thing, I'm gonna get it. If
it's a Zelda Pro Switch, are you getting two?
Oh. No. If it's a Zelda Pro Switch, I'll just get the Zelda Pro Switch.
Yeah.
I don't need a Pro Switch and a Zelda Pro Switch and a regular Switch. I'm not spending $1,000 because I expect the Mario Switch is probably just standard 300. Yep. Okay, so I imagine the Zelda one would be the same price.
Would be the same price.
And I imagine a Pro Switch is probably going to be 400, if that even is a thing. If it's even a thing.
Right.
But I imagine 4 to 450. I can't imagine them hitting 500 on it.
No.
It would have to be like an exceptional system for them to do 500. But I don't think that's something that they can even do. Right. But I will spend $400 on a limited edition Zelda Switch. Hands down. Like,
so this statue, this Garrus statue that I mentioned, I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. Mm-hmm. I'm also a huge Garrus fan. He's one of my favorite characters in that game. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those like $500 limited run, like we're gonna make 300 of them type things.
Yep.
And I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I mean, I've got this Gotcha Force game that I could probably, part with and get that. But, I don't know, but a Mass Effect console, hands down. I'm not even going to think twice about it. The Mass Effect limited edition trilogy that comes out, maybe it's going to come out with an Omniblade or a helmet, I'll get that.
Yep.
In 2 seconds.
Totally feel that one.
Yeah. It's just video game collectibles they're so interesting because now, we are of the age where we have disposable income.
Yep.
So anything that comes out now, our generation is just snatching up, but we're snatching them up in such a number and such a fashion and holding on to them for so long.
Well, the scalpers don't help either.
But the scalpers don't help either. But what I'm getting at is that these, this Mario, sealed in the box special edition game, probably isn't going to be. Yeah, see, we both have it sealed in the box still. And sealed. That right there is it. We paid $60 for it.
Yep.
In 10, 15 years, is it really going to be $90? Like, probably not, because I bet a good amount of people have bought it and kept it sealed, because
the sealed app. It's the sealed aspect of it that makes it worth something.
So we'll see. I mean, a lot of things nowadays, like Pokemon cards are collectible. The old Pokemon cards are collectible. The new ones probably won't be as collectible because everybody's getting them and everybody's holding on to them.
Some of them,
they all want them to be, they all want them to be collectible.
They're collectible right now, but in 20 years, it's probably still going. It's probably still going to be just the original set.
Right.
Sets.
So, yeah.
But based on that, we're talking collectibles here.
Right.
We're talking about video game collectibles, and this is kind of on the topic of video game collectibles.
It's a video game collectible.
Yeah, I would say it's a video game collectible. Some of you may know, I know very well because I live near there, but Disney owns Star Wars. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And they have
for better or for worse, Disney owns Star Wars. Yep.
I am on the realm of for better, but
yes,
they have a whole area of both of their parks in Disney World and Disneyland that's called Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Have you heard of that?
Yep. Oh yeah. I can't wait to go.
It's fantastic. It's unbelievable. I mean, there's a full version of the Millennium Falcon just sitting there, and you can look at it. You can take pictures with it. You can damn near touch it. It's amazing. But what they do is they sell lightsabers.
Sure.
They're called legacy lightsabers, and they are accurate to movie remakes of specific lightsabers.
Yep.
And I have one here. It's the Luke Skywalker. It comes in this box, and you open it up, and you got this one right here. You can buy a blade for an additional price.
Of course.
Yeah, it's an extra $50. They're not cheap, folks. They're not cheap. But this lightsaber is spot on. It's phenomenal. I don't have a blade for it yet, but I will be getting one eventually. But what they just released is they announced that they're bringing Cal Kestis lightsaber to Galaxy's Edge for something that you can buy. And if for those who don't know, Cal Kestis is the main character of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the game that came out for PS4. I think it's on Steam as well.
Yeah, it's also on Xbox.
Is it on Xbox as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's made by EA and oh gosh, I can't remember. But it's made by a company that's not going to screw you over for money. Unlike Battlefield 2 or Battlefront 2. But Cal Kestis' lightsaber is awesome. You've played it, correct?
Oh yeah.
It's a dual bladed lightsaber, but this particular version of it had gotten cut in half, so there's like wires coming out of the bottom. And it's a single-bladed lightsaber. I don't know what color it's going to be yet. I assume it's going to be blue because that's what the original lightsaber was. But in the game, you can change it to
whatever you want.
Whatever color you want. And I can't wait. Like I'm going to buy it. I don't care how much it costs.
There you go.
It's probably going to be about $130 for just the hilt.
Sure.
Which is pretty much just as much as this one cost. But I can't not get it. I can't I love that lightsaber. As soon as I saw it, I was like, holy shit, this is like my favorite lightsaber. I love the things that come up on the side, like aside the blade that aren't actually part of like the emitter. Like, I love it. I love it.
Sure.
I love it. I can't wait to see what it looks like. And what's cool is you can walk into the shop where they sell them in the Star Wars land.
Oh yeah.
And you can just be like, hey, can I look at that? And they'll let you hold it.
Yeah.
And so you can like really see like if it's for you, like if that's what you want. They have so many. They have Darth Maul. They have Ahsoka. They have both Ahsokas. Both Ahsoka lightsabers. The one that she had in Clone Wars actually goes green and blue.
Nice.
Which is awesome. They've got temple guards, which are yellow. There's so many, and there's so many. I can't. They have Kylo Ren's original lightsaber.
There you go.
Before he got the dual blade or the cross guard rather.
Cross guard, yep.
I can't wait till you can go visit. And when you do go visit, hopefully it's in Florida, and you're gonna tell me, and I'm gonna be like, "Yep, I'm coming."
Yep.
Good shit.
Yep. So I'm gonna jump off script here real quick.
Do it.
Since we're on Star Wars, there's been a couple of rumors floating around recently about a couple of different things. One of them that I am particularly excited about, and I saw a couple of articles about this when I was sitting at work at about 9:30 at night on the floor, and I just like threw my hands up and was like, yes, and the staff who was on the floor was like, she'll wake up the kids. It's rumored that Liam Neeson is going to be coming back to play Qui-Gon for the show Kenobi.
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes sense, and the rumors that I've seen have not been from the most credible of websites, but there are a couple of interviews with Liam Neeson recently from very credible sites about how he really is in support of Star Wars, and really he's one of the few, I say few, but he's one of the few really big name actors now who is still all for Star Wars.
It's like him and Samuel L. Jackson.
Right.
The
other,
and the people that are still in it.
Right. Harrison Ford had kind of lost.
He doesn't give a shit.
Mark Hamill still loves Star Wars,
loves
but
it.
also really wanted to, branch out, and that's why we got Joker and the other roles that he's done. But it's nice to hear that Liam Neeson respects Star Wars and wants to do Kenobi justice, or not Kenobi, Qui-Gon justice.
Yeah.
And especially the fact that he's been the voice of Qui-Gon in most of the things that Qui-Gon has been in.
I mean, you have to imagine that he's gonna at least show up once as a Force ghost. He has to. It's like
what else is the point of the show? To make the show as canon as you can be. Yoda tells Obi-Wan you're gonna go to the planet and to Tatooine and train with an old friend who's come back from the netherworld with the Force, which is Qui-Gon. So that's one rumor I wanted to touch on. Another one is that we're potentially getting a new Star Wars open world game. I
did hear about that. I didn't look into it, but I heard about it.
I'm not too optimistic yet, because they haven't really given us a name, a setting. I think they've mentioned which company is making it, but we had a game for the Coruscant Underworld that was supposed to be coming out a few years ago that got pretty far and then got canned. But now Star Wars is a much bigger thing than it was even 5 or 6 years ago. So I think anything Star Wars, give it to me, I'll eat it up. But open world RPG, Star Wars, stop, say less.
Yeah. Now, I did read, I can't find it right now, but I read that Star Wars has created, because you know how years ago we had Lucasfilm, and we had LucasArts? LucasArts made all the Star Wars games. Now, EA makes all the Star Wars games.
Unfortunately.
However, they recently made, I want to say that it's called Lucas Games. But,
I think it is.
But I can't find it right now. They're moving everything from EA to Lucas Games, so they're doing it in house now, and they're exporting. You can make this game. Dice, you can make that game. So and so, you can make that game. That's perfect. That's perfect.
I think while we're in kind of the return of Star Wars right now, and the broadening of the universe once again with all the shows and the movies, this is the perfect time to start bringing games back.
Yeah, I agree.
I also heard that we might be getting another Knights of the Old Republic game.
Yep. I heard that too.
And then today I saw an article that said another one of these not so credible like rumor mill sites said that there's whispers that they're going to start porting all of the original Knights of the two original Knights of the Old Republic games to the newer systems, which is nice because the original Knights of the Old Republic games are both original Xbox games.
Yep.
And they don't play very well on even the 360.
No.
And the versions you can get on Steam and Good Old Games and
you can play the original on Xbox One, but it looks just as shitty as it did back then.
And it plays kind of janky, and it like even the ones that you can get from Steam and stuff still play kind of janky. So it'll be nice to hopefully have not a remastered, but like a slightly updated, ported so that it'll work correctly, like version of the Knights of the Old Republic, because that game is so good. The story of that game is amazing, even if it's not technically canon. But if they're bringing it back and they're making another game, maybe they're going to call it canon again. I don't know. That would be nice, because there's some really good stories there that I would love to not lose. So I just in my perusing of the internet that I do every now and again, come across some pretty random articles from time to time.
Yep.
The most recent, we'll call it a scandal. The most recent scandal to hit the gaming world.
Spill the tea, Derek.
Oh yes, the cyberpunk mod that came out that allows you to romance, in the biblical sense, Keanu Reeves' character in Cyberpunk.
You know what? I mean, if I could make mods, I'd do that too.
There you go. The problem that this mod is running into actually is it's one of the few mods that CD Projekt Red has actually asked to be taken down.
Really?
Have like almost like threatened legal action to have it taken down.
Interesting.
And the ethical dilemma in it all, that is kind of the big argument around the mod, is like, well, why isn't this character like romanceable? He's such a big character in the game, but it all boils down to the contract that Keanu Reeves signed.
Yep.
So he signed a very specific contract to be in this game, and from what I was reading, it sounds like his contract did not include that kind of gameplay for his character. So if we're adding that, like, you get into the whole argument of consent and okay, it's I can't remember what his character's name is off the top of my head, but the Keanu Reeves character is based off a real person.
Johnny Rivers. Is that it? Johnny something.
No, Silverhand or something. I don't know.
Johnny something.
Johnny Silverhand. Yeah, Johnny something or other. But he, most of the characters in that game, or as far as we know as the players, all of the characters in that game are original characters for that game. I'm sure some of the developers are in there as NPCs.
There's actually a couple of YouTubers that are NPCs as well.
Right. You can't make a game with that many NPCs and not I'm going to base this character off my buddy Jim, but they're not all romanceable,
Yep.
So when you end up having a big celebrity attached to your game, and he didn't sign for that, like, is that really okay? And I think this is an argument that we're going to be seeing come up more and more
often. Yeah.
Video games and the tech culture, like as VR, like continues to become a bigger and bigger deal. Like the creepy things that you can do in VR, like that. I don't know.
You can do a lot of crazy shit in VR.
Yep. But
you already can. That totally makes sense. I didn't even think about that when you started talking about it. I didn't even think about like the consent thing. But that's he absolutely should have to consent to that. Like, mods are cool and everything. I love mods. I love having the community add to games. But when it is immediately infringing on somebody else, and they're like, if they're not comfortable with it, then don't do it. Like,
then don't do it. Then you have to, like, you kind of have to take it down at that point.
I'd be curious to see what Keanu actually says.
Right.
Because he seems like a pretty chill dude. He'd probably be fine with it. He'd probably actually be thrilled with it.
Right,
but
or think it's hilarious or something.
But we don't know that. We can't assume that. And it's kind of like a weird line. Like where do you draw that line of this is okay versus no, this is not okay. Like it's like that's something that hasn't really been touched on yet.
Right.
So I'd be interested to see what he has to say. Hopefully
where it goes.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets wind of it so that we can actually see, like, I'm sure he's already gotten wind of it.
I'm sure he's already got wind of it.
But whether or not he's going to make whether or not he's going to make a public announcement about it is separate. Who knows?
Yep.
But that's actually really awesome.
All right, you ready to get into the meat of tonight?
The meat of tonight. Let's see. What time are we at right now? We are at 47 minutes minus about 2 minutes because I went pee.
Yeah,
I'll keep that. I'll keep that one in.
There you go.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. So, WandaVision.
Yes.
That is our show of the season.
Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. So, for those of you who may not have been watching WandaVision or who may not be up on the MCU as well as we are, WandaVision is a pretty recent Disney Plus show. This was episode 4 of WandaVision, and it's essentially, we're going to get into what we think is actually going on, but what it seems to be on the surface is Wanda and Vision kind of hanging out in their idyllic world, living their life, but there's some crazy stuff going on behind the scenes. And this most recent episode kind of went off on a much different vein. The first 3 episodes did. So the first 3 episodes were very much based around old sitcoms. We had a 50s era, a 60s era, and then kind of the end of the 60s era.
Yeah, 70s era.
Yeah, and there was a lot of questions that were generated by the first 3 episodes. There was a lot of casual fans who didn't really understand or couldn't really buy in to what was going on in WandaVision. In my opinion, they've done a really, really good job of kind of building the tracks to go this way, and then all of a sudden now we're over here. We're going a completely different way than anybody else was.
They're trickling out information.
Yes,
it's like okay, this is just a mock of a 60s sitcom. Cool. Yep. And then all of a sudden you hear something and you're like, what?
Yeah, or there's a little something in the background that's like, wait a second, what's that?
And then episode 4 brought that all together for us.
Yeah. So the majority of episode 4 takes place in the real world.
Yes.
Right. It's not in this sitcom that we've gotten. And at the end of episode 3, we see Wanda's. She reminded me of that quintessential disco lady, big hair, kind of puffy, very, very beautiful black woman, the
very 70s.
The poofed out pants, huge hair, very, very
and what was her name in that world? Geraldine.
Geraldine. Yes. And the episode ended with Geraldine being cast out of what looks to be a hologram, just into the real world.
A force field of sorts.
And that's where it ended.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So then it picks up with the beginning of episode 4. I mean, we had to pause it. We watched it this morning, and we had to pause it like 2 minutes in and be like, wait a second, what is this? really the first time we got to see people coming back
coming back from the snap. Yeah, this is now the blip, which is what they called everybody coming back.
Right.
And we got to see it firsthand, and it is chaotic. I mean, granted, the woman's in a hospital, and can you only imagine working in a hospital, having to deal with all these sick and injured people, and then all of a sudden the hospital doubles in population?
Right.
Because people all of a sudden come back? That would be insane. It would be insane. So Monica Rambeau, who is our main character really of this episode, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
She is the daughter,
or at least the main focus.
The main focus, yes. She is the daughter of Captain Marvel's best friend. I think her name was Maria Rambeau. Yeah. Maria Photon Rambeau. And Maria was who started SWORD, which is like a counterpart to SHIELD that deals with outer world threats, essentially.
Sure.
And so
in this instance so far, they've given us a lot of they deal with a lot of technological AI based Android and robotic based things. That's kind of what they've given us so far for
so Monica Rambeau was snapped. She was snapped out of existence, and then while she was snapped out of existence in a hospital while she was with her mother who had cancer.
Yes.
And she thought at that point that the cancer had gone into remission, and she was okay for a while. But during that 5 years of being snapped, which Monica only thought was 20 minutes of her sleeping,
right,
which is crazy. In that 5 years, her mother died.
Right.
And that sucks. To have to wake up thinking, or go to sleep thinking your mother's going to be fine. Wake up finding that she didn't make it.
Yeah.
So she goes to the hospital. She deals with all the fact that the chaos.
For a few seconds. Yep.
And then she goes back to work at SWORD. Where
and this is when we get our first true indication of when the show takes place.
Yes.
Because she comes back, and that's immediately a 5-year jump from, we're now smack in the middle of Endgame.
I believe I believe this episode is taking 2 weeks after Endgame.
Well, that's what so she wakes up, and then when she goes back to the office, her boss says, it's been 2 weeks and you're the first person to come back to work.
Yep.
Which doesn't surprise any of us because we all know who you are.
Yeah.
But that gives us an exact timeline of when the show takes place. And
now,
then, we have a couple of days or hours or so until we get to town.
Now I have a question for you.
Yep.
Do you trust that guy? That the acting director of SWORD?
I don't know enough about him to trust him or not trust him.
Nobody does. He's a brand new character.
Right.
But I don't trust him.
Yeah. He seemed a little too relaxed about the whole thing, about her just coming back to work. Like I knowing this show and seeing how this show has gone, I don't think that they would have made him that relaxed just to make the story work.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you. Like, he seems very untrustworthy.
And then he sends her off to a mission that he deemed unimportant.
Right.
Like, now it is very important, and he knows that because he's there. But he sent her off to do something that was seemingly unimportant, or something that he knew could get her killed.
Do you think that, or do you think he just didn't know what he was sending her to?
I think
because he sent her to find a single missing person, and when she showed up, it seemed like no one but the Asian guy who's Wu knew that it was more than just a single missing person.
I'll get into it in a little while, but I think that he is smarter than we are led to believe.
Sure.
There's a scene where he's talking with Darcy, the girl from Thor. And she's talking about these radio waves that are coming out that makes it so that she can see them on the TV. And he knows exactly what she's talking about.
Yep.
Meanwhile, these other people who are working there are like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
And this guy knew exactly what she was talking about right off the bat. And that leads me to believe that he's a little bit more aware of what's going on. Maybe he didn't think it was going to be as big of a threat as it is, but I think that he knew exactly what he was sending Monica into when he sent her into it.
Sure.
That's my personal take.
Yeah.
I don't trust him. He was super nice to Monica, and then when he gets with the whole group of people, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So like, why did he change?
Right.
Like, I don't know. But so Monica goes to this area of New Jersey called Westview. It's a little town. She meets up with Jimmy Woo, who is from Jimmy Woo. He's the FBI agent from Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. And and he's like, I got no idea what's going on. You know, I'm looking for a missing person. Everybody who knew this missing person has no idea that he even exists anymore. And these two cops that are standing out here in front of Westview don't think that Westview exists. They're from Eastview. So we're not sure what's going on. Monica goes up to the town, the edge of the town, and sees that there's like an energy force field. And she touches it, and she gets zapped right in.
Sucked in. Yep.
Sucked in. And we've seen her. We've seen her in 2 separate episodes of what we've been watching.
The WandaVision sitcom.
Her name is Geraldine. Now, the girl this is when the girl from Thor, Darcy.
I'm so glad that they brought Darcy into this.
She's fantastic.
Her character is perfect. I actually just watched Dark World again the other day, and she's not. She doesn't make the movie, obviously, because she's a small part.
Yeah.
But her parts of the movie are like to me the funniest parts of the movie.
Well, she's
so great.
She's funny. She's got really great delivery.
Yep. Yep.
And so they bring her in along with 3 other people who are all like specialty scientists. And she starts working on this, and she starts realizing that there's an energy field coming out of this dome of sorts that is also producing a TV wave, a television wave.
Yes.
And so she gets that old TV, and she starts watching exactly what we've been watching for 3 weeks.
Popcorn and, she's loving it. She's all about it.
And I loved this too. I thought this episode was great just because it showed us that they were watching the same shit that we were. Now, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of theories and stuff, and all these different little lore bits of stuff that come on through these TV shows. I've been doing it for The Mandalorian. I'm doing it for WandaVision now.
Sure.
During that scene when they were like really going through all the information that they were getting, and they had like a whiteboard behind them, and they were like posting up names of things and questions. Some of the questions were, why hexagons? Why a TV show? You know, is this reality, or is this something outside of our space and time? And the reason I brought up YouTube is because these are all the questions that these YouTubers have been asking and making as their thumbnails for the past 3 weeks now.
Right.
And it was almost like they released this episode to be like, hey, we're paying attention to you guys. You know, hey, we're watching. We're watching. And because everything that they wrote up on that board with a question was like, what, like, that's what we've been asking.
The one thing and maybe somebody's already figured this out, but they never mentioned who the missing person was.
No, we have no idea who that is.
Right, like even as they were identifying the people in the show and posting them up on their tack board, they never said, and here's our missing person, Joe Schmo.
You know what, I'll bring that up now, because I was going to talk about this. I think that missing person is Ralph. Do you know who Ralph is? Agnes's husband.
Agnes's husband.
We've never seen him.
She keeps talking about, and we've never seen him.
Yeah, so it's, my husband Ralph. My husband Ralph. We don't know who Ralph is.
Sure.
I have another theory about who Ralph is, and we'll get to that. But we'll go to Agnes right now. Agnes seems to know something.
Oh yeah.
In episode 3, she was talking with Herb and Vision, and she was talking about Geraldine, saying Geraldine doesn't have a home here. Geraldine doesn't live here. She's an outsider. And we know that she's an outsider at this point, especially. We know that she's an outsider. So who do you think Agnes is?
I have no idea.
I think I mentioned it on the last one we talked about.
You did.
The whole Agatha Harkness.
Yes.
She's a very prominent character in the comic books. And I can't get over the Agnes being very much a shorted version of Agatha Harkness.
Right.
It's a direct split down the middle. But it's so weird that they also didn't have an identity for her on the blackboard or on the whiteboard.
Right.
They had an ID for every single person else except for Agnes. There was no Ralph, and there was no Dottie either.
Right.
Which is also weird, but we don't know anything else about Dottie. All we know is that Agnes doesn't like Dottie.
Agnes does not like Dottie. Right.
So I think Agnes is going to be a big character. She's a big actress, first of all.
Yeah, and you know, according to IMDb, she's in every episode. So,
well, shit, I didn't know that. That makes the most amount of sense. I mean, she's been in every episode thus far, so and she's been so prominent, and she says weird things.
Weird things her actions and her cadence of speaking and her mannerisms haven't necessarily fit with the time period.
No, you know what got me was in episode 2. They were Wanda and Agnes were outside. Wanda had just found the helicopter.
The helicopter, yep.
And
which we now know is the drone.
Is a drone, yep. And the mailman walks by, and Agnes has a little discussion with him. And at the end of the discussion, she goes, "Ha pew pew."
Right.
What? Why? Why
60s,
did you just? Why are you saying? Yeah. Why are you saying pew pew? First of all, in the '60s, that came out in the '70s. That's Star Wars. But like, why are you shooting this man? Like, what? Like, that has to have been something.
Right.
I don't think Agnes is good.
No.
She seems like she's trying to act in the best interest of the town. But I don't think she is.
No.
Now, the only other person that we know of in this world, in this we'll call it a hexagon because it is a hexagon, actually. We'll get to that too. This hexagon of madness. The only other person we know that's cognate is Monica.
Yes.
Do you think Monica knows what's going on?
No.
While she's in there?
I don't think so.
Even though when she got shot out, she said, "It's all Wanda."
I think she's maybe cognitively aware, but isn't in control of her actions in any way, shape, or form. You know, and towards the end there, when she like snapped out right before she got thrown out, she snapped out and mentioned Ultron, and like that was her like coming forth. But I think that whatever is going on, whatever Wanda is doing to this town and these people is powerful enough that it also brainwashed her.
It brainwashes her, but it seems like these people are aware. They are able to be snapped out of it for a brief moment.
Right.
Because we had that moment with Herb. I mean, Herb was cutting through the wall, which I took as just like a glitch in the system. But then after the fact, he was like, "Oh well, Monica or Geraldine knows that we're all that we're all in here." Like, and then Agnes cut him off.
Right.
So it was almost like he was about to tell Vision, who they were talking to, what exactly is going on. And even Vision in that episode had like a, hey, Wanda, I think something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. And then
I've got some ideas on Vision.
Yeah. And then she snapped it back and she rewound it and made it everything fine. And then she did the exact same thing with the beekeeper.
Oh, yeah.
And she basically did the exact same thing when she shot Monica out of
through the
walls. She snapped it all back to normal. She fixed the walls, fixed the fence, fixed everything, and Vision walked in and goes, "Huh, where's Geraldine?" And it was just like nothing had happened.
Nothing had happened.
But you know what Wanda did say during that moment? Because Vision was getting very, not upset, but like concerned, concerned.
Yep.
And Wanda looks him dead in the eye and goes, "Don't worry, I have everything under control." So, who is in control here? Is this all Wanda's doing, or is this Wanda putting up a defense mechanism for something that's being forced upon her?
So do you want my theory?
I do.
I think it's all Wanda. I don't think Vision. I don't even think Vision's there. I think it's all Wanda.
We'll talk about that in a second.
I don't think Vision's there. I think Vision died. I mean, Vision died.
We know that.
We know that Vision died. I don't know how. Like the stones. We also know that the stones don't exist anymore.
Well, they do, but they don't.
They do, but they don't. Like we don't know what timeline we're necessarily in. Are we in the timeline where they exist, or are we in the timeline where they don't?
We don't really know yet.
I don't think Vision exists. I think Vision is a creation of Wanda's.
Okay.
But when she brainwashed the town and locked the town up, she created Vision with her powers, and in creating such a lifelike Vision, she created a Vision that is almost perfect to the point where this Vision apparition can figure out, and my theory is that he's going to figure out what's going on and confront her about it, and then we're going to have a whole nother mess of problems.
Do you want my theory?
I'm ready.
Okay. I think Vision is, yes, definitely dead. But I think she has his body.
Ooh.
Everything that goes into this realm is transformed the way that Wanda wants it to be transformed to. It is aligning with whatever she is dealing with at that time, whether it be the 50s, the 60s, or the 70s. Now, in this last episode, we saw a shot of Wanda, and she was talking to Vision as he walked in. Her back was turned, and she turned around, and there's Vision, as we saw him in Infinity War, dead.
Dead.
It had been ripped out of his head. His eyes were glossed over. He was all gray.
So
and I think
I took that to just her like snap, like having a mental break.
I took that,
but that's actually him.
I took that as her seeing the reality.
Okay, I like that. I can get behind that.
And I'm okay. So this is going along with another thing that Paul Bettany, the actor of Vision, has said. Apparently, I think it was either Infinity War or Endgame. It must have been Endgame. There was a deleted scene that was supposed to be a post-credit scene where they were in like a morgue, and they pulled the drawer out, and Vision's body was in there, and Wanda was there, and it was kind of like her identifying him in a sense, and that was cut. So if we're led to assume that that's canon still, Wanda has been near Vision's body after she was snapped back.
Sure.
Now keep in mind, Wanda dealt with killing her husband, or her man, killing her man, him being brought back to life only to be killed again. shortly after her brother was killed.
Yes.
And then she got snapped out of existence and then came back, which we now know people felt was only 10 minutes. And now she's dealing with all of this.
2 weeks later.
Yeah, 2 weeks later. So if she saw vision and she has all this power, who's to stop her from taking him?
Right.
Taking him to this little town where she can make her own little world, where she can be happy for the last time. And I don't think that Wanda is going to be an ally anymore.
Yeah. No.
I think this is the.
I was expecting this show to be fun and like whimsical, but this is gonna get dark.
It is fun and whimsical. I can't wait till some of these later episodes. I mean, we're gonna be seeing stuff like, like Full House. Oh, we're gonna be seeing stuff like Modern Family. Like that's like I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with that. But no, this is it. This is a dark TV show.
Yeah, this show's gonna get really good.
And she has kids. Who seemingly shouldn't exist.
Right.
But I think they're going to.
Yep. So we'll see.
They're crucial. They are crucial to the comic books.
Yeah.
And I think next episode it's going to be a decade later. These kids aren't going to be babies anymore.
No.
That like they're going to develop just as fast as they did in their stomach. And that's I can't. We have 5 more episodes, and I was not hyped for this show, and then I started watching it, and I saw the little trickle things. I was like, oh my god, no, they're doing it. They're doing it.
Oh yeah.
And the more and more I watch, the more and more I fucking love this. This is amazing.
Oh yeah, no, this is gonna be a great show. This is gonna be great.
Chef's kiss from me. Best thing that Marvel's done in a long time.
Oh, for sure.
Endgame was great. Endgame was great. Infinity War was great. I love everything Captain America because I'm a simp. Oh, I can't say that on Twitch.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Don't! I didn't. I said shrimp. I just. But I mean, like, this is fantastic. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
But
and I think that's it for our time.
I think that's it as well. I have a couple of other things written for WandaVision, but we'll talk about that next time because I'm sure they're gonna come up. They're gonna come up. They have to do with hexagons.
Oh yes, hexagons. We'll talk about hexagons next time.
Hexagons, 6 sides. 6. You can multiply that by 11. Nope, that's 66. Multiply that by 11. That's 666. And then, you know what that is? 666. That's a devil's number. You know who the devil is? Mephisto. There it is. I said it.
Well, to stop his crazy rambling, I'm gonna end the show there. So thank you all for sticking around.
Thank you very much.
To the crazy ramblings of us two nerds. You can find us on Twitter at Temple Nerds. You can find us on Twitch at Temple of the Nerds.
Oh, wow.
Just to be confusing.
Oh yeah. We're gonna fix that eventually. I promise.
We're gonna fix it. We're working on it. I am currently working on getting our actual podcast going, and you'll soon be able to find us on the iTunes and the Spotify's and the I don't know what else, but at least those two. We'll see where else it goes from there. We've also got a Discord that you can find that link in our bios on YouTube and on Twitch.
Yep.
I am D-Bills.
I am TJ.
And thank you all so much for stopping by, and we will catch you all next time.
Thank you. Good night. Or good morning. I don't know what time it is.
Who knows?